Hey everyone. So, as you know, a couple weeks ago, we were given premium, access to Edpuzzle, and some of you maybe are familiar with it, and some of you maybe have never used it before. So, I kind of wanted to give you a little overview of the benefits to Edpuzzle and how you can go about using it in your classroom, whether this year or possibly for next year. Basically, in a nutshell, what Edpuzzle is it's a way to embed questions into videos. Or you can just simply assign videos to students. And one of the kind of benefits to this is students aren't able to fast forward. They have to watch the whole thing. And also it's a way for them to, hit turn in or mark as done so that you know that they actually watched it. I personally like it for the purpose of being able to embed questions that students can answer in the video. The other way of doing this that I heard from a high school teacher is, opposed to answering questions, they actually record themselves and post the videos on YouTube, and then allow for students to type questions that they have about the material, and then the teacher then addresses those questions in class, which is kind of a flipped classroom model, which might actually work well with a hybrid model, whatever that might look like in the fall. But with all that aside, how do you use Edpuzzle? All right, so first off, you can see here it has popular channels, YouTube, Khan Academy, all of those great things. Those are where we go to find instructional videos that might help supplement or support our teaching. And then the very top one, Edpuzzle, that is where people have already taken videos and turned them into the Edpuzzle, which just means there's questions embedded in it. So let's start, basic. Let's say that there's a video that you like on YouTube that helps teach a concept. Okay, so we're going to go to YouTube and we're going to search. Now, right now, currently, I am, covering plate tectonics, rock cycle, all that fun stuff. So let's see if I can find a quick video about the rock cycle. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on this first one. Let's say that this one is what I like. Now, I want to take this video and I want to turn it into an Edpuzzle. So that means I need to edit it. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to click edit. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to maybe add some questions in there. You can even do a voiceover. If you don't like what they're saying and you want to, put your own words to it, you can. Lots of different features, but don't, go crazy your first time. There's also being able to, trim or cut. So I'm just going to give you an idea of a way or reason why you might want to cut something. So let's take a look at this video here.
Okay, so there's many different...
All right, so far in the first 22 seconds of this video, there's no instruction going on. So if I wanted to, I could, maybe trim off some of that and jump in maybe right here. Okay, I can cut it down so that I get rid of those 13 seconds and we get right into it. All right, now I want some questions in here. So let's see. I have three options here: a multiple choice, open-ended, and then just giving them a comment or something that if I really wanted them to focus on something. So we're gonna go ahead and press play again.
Okay, so there's many different types of rocks, right? There are some that may be familiar to us, and others not so familiar. Which begs the question, why are there different types of rocks? Well, it has to do with the processes of how they are formed. And there's three main processes. There's melting and cooling, weather and erosion, and there's also heat and pressure.
All right, so maybe at that point, I'm like, I want to see if they were really kind of paying attention to what the processes are. So I might want to add maybe an open-ended, where I simply say, what are the three processes in which rocks are formed? Now, since this is open-ended, they would have to type those answers. And now I'm going to pause that real quick. And I want to show you, see that little symbol? That means there's a question in there. Okay, now I'm just going to fast forward. Okay, yep, all this great information. Now maybe at the very end of the video, looks like they're doing resources. Okay, I want to add an open-ended question where I want to say, oh, actually, no. I want to do a multiple choice since I've already shown you how to do an open-ended. So let's try and say, I don't know. Which type of rock is formed with heat and pressure? I don't know. I am making this up as I go. Okay? And we're going to do some options. Oh, maybe I want another one. Add another one. Okay, now this is kind of important right here. So since this one is checked, that means that's the correct answer. Wrong. Okay, that is wrong. That is wrong. That is wrong. This one is correct. And I'm going to hit save. Okay. All right. So now I'm done. I like my Edpuzzle. I've got a whopping 2 questions in there, super great. And now I'm going to assign it to my students. Now, you probably will have nothing here, and you will have to add a class from Google Classroom. I'm just gonna kind of mess around with this. I'm not using this Google Classroom anymore. Actually, let me see if I can import a different class that I don't quite use, just so I can walk you through the process. The one I mess with my children with. Okay, I'm gonna import this one. Okay, now, start date, due date, let's say it's due by June 3rd. I like this option. That means they have to watch the whole video. They can't skip ahead. Some videos, it's also good to have the closed captioning. It depends upon the video. And then it depends upon whether or not you want it immediately posted. I usually, post it, but then I quickly go and edit it the way I want it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and do that just to show you. I'm going to put the due date. Oh, come on. Oh, I see what I'm doing. Save. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and hit assign. All right, now I just want to show you what this looks like, say students that have already done it. So currently I have an Edpuzzle going for my current class, okay? This one that is due May 29th about the rocks and soil for Bill Nye. And I've had so far 13 students that have had a chance to complete this. So you can see down here, well, and you can also, arrange how you want it done. If you want it last watched, there we go. So this student has just started it yesterday, but she hasn't finished. These students have watched it and finished. And then you can go by question. You can see what remind yourself what the questions were. You can also see, let's say, well, let me go back. Sorry. All right, Angelique, I can look right here. She got all of the questions, correct. So that's kind of what it looks like for you. It shows you if they've ever watched it, if they, finished it, what the questions are, and that sort of a thing. Okay, so now I'm going to switch over to Google Classroom. My apologies for the lag. All right, here's my sample class and classwork. And here you can see the Edpuzzle. See, this is kind of why I post it, but I immediately go through and fix it, because it doesn't allow you really to do some of those other options of putting it, where you want. I don't want it 100 points, so I want to edit this. I want to make it, maybe it's work habits, maybe it's, credit, no credit. Maybe you're giving it a point system, maybe you're not. Maybe you want this under Unit 1 and you want a rubric. So you will have to kind of go through it and make those changes so it appears where you want it to appear. So now I think I put it, there you go, under Unit 1. Okay? So that is if you were going to create your own. Now, there's that quick, fast, easy option of searching Edpuzzles that have already been created by teachers. And there's a good chance you might like it. Like right up here, we've got Bill of Rights, somebody did. Maybe I'm also, having to teach Bill of Rights. So you can click on it, you can preview it and see what the questions were. So here there's a lot of questions. Do I like these questions? Do I not? You can kind of play around with it. You can see if you like a certain person's work, you can maybe take some of their other work. But let's say you like this one. It definitely has questions you like. So you might want to copy it straight up. You like everything, just copy it, and then you assign it to your kids. You could edit it and say, you know what, I like them, but they have way too many questions. And then you can delete questions. That's Edpuzzle kind of in a nutshell. Play around with it, but it's pretty user friendly if you ask me. The other, if you're like really feeling kind of frisky, what you could possibly do is, record your own YouTube instruction and then embed those. So you're making kind of your own videos completely off of your own instruction of what you want to do. I've yet to do that. I kind of stick with things that have already been created because I'm not that savvy. I don't have unicorn productions like some people. Using some resources that have already been created is quite helpful. So I hope that helps. If I left anything out, feel free to email me and ask me. But a lot of the buttons, things that you would need are kind of right here that you would play around with. All right, hope that helps.